YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Nigel coming back at y'all with yet another video. And yes, you saw the title. You want to know where you rank, so I'm about to tell you. Let's get straight to it. Just for starters, this data was provided by Money US News if anybody wants to research it, and it goes off of the bottom 20% to the top 20%. The bottom 20% being the lowest, which is poor or near poor, and then the top 20% is being rich. So without further ado, let's go. So if you're in the poor and near poor class, the bottom end is anything lower than $32,000 and the top end is $32,000. If you're in this class, chances are you're going to be on food stamps. You're going to be struggling to make ends meet. You're really going to not have any extras to start investing or anything like that. So at this point, the goal is to increase your income in some type of way to make it easier on your life. Because at this moment, you're probably not earning enough to do anything with your income to change your situation. The second class we have is lower middle class. Now, the lower middle class is starting at a bottom of $32,000 and a top end of $53,000. This is where you start getting a little bit more comfortable. You start penny pinching, but at the same time, if you start budgeting a little bit, you might have a little bit extra money to squeeze by and do a little bit something with, maneuver with, and hopefully make your life a little bit easier. The next class we have is middle class, is which majority of the people are in. We have at the bottom end $53,000, and then at the top end we have $106,000. Now, back in the day, $106,000 would have got you by, but nowadays, $106,000 is basically the normal. If you want to live a fully comfortable life, you have to be like somewhere in between this range to start actually making your money work for you. Fourth class we have is the upper middle class. Now, the upper middle class will land you at $106,000 for the bottom end, and at the top end, you will end up at $373,000 for the top. Now, if you're in the upper middle class, chances are you're living a very comfortable and lavish lifestyle. You're not rich yet. You can't buy whatever you want, but at the same time, you will have some nice assets to your name. I'm sure you'll have some nice houses, nice cars, things of that nature. You'll be able to go out and get your steak and avocado toast when you go out to dinner, and everything's all good. Now, the last class we're going to talk about is the rich class, and the rich class is earning $373,000 and higher. When you're rich, anything goes. Of course, at any type of money, you can't do whatever you want, but at the same time, if you're rich, you're living very well off. You'll be able to afford that nice Jaguar that everybody likes to see. Everybody wants to go to your house for the parties and everything. So that's where we're at right now. Now, in this video, I didn't want to just factor in income level, because at the same time, income plays a huge role in you actually being in a certain class. I also understand that being wise with your money can put you at a higher net worth than somebody who's not wise with their money. So with that being said, I want to give you all the data and statistics for the net worth of people in the class of each one. So what we have right now is the poverty class. Your median net worth will be $6,000. For the next one, which is lower middle class, your median net worth will be $43,000. For the next one, which is middle class, that'll put you at $104,000 net worth. The next one, which is upper middle class, will put you at $201,000 for net worth. And then the top 20%, which is the wealthy, will put you at $608,000 net worth. So as you can see, for all of this, even with wealthy, you don't even have to have a $1 million net worth to be considered wealthy. But what really matters is, as long as you're wise with your money, you don't always have to earn a high income. But what I'm about to get into right now is some statistics that could actually factor into you being in a higher class or a lower class, and what you can actually do about it to raise your status. What I found here is a couple interesting factors that could factor into you being lower middle class or upper class. Obviously, some of these things that you can't actually change, but what I say is just stick to the things that you can change and don't worry about the things that you can't, as far as like ethnicity, gender and stuff like that, and focus on the things that you can. So without further ado, we have the first chart, which shows married men, married women, unmarried men, unmarried women, living in a multi-earner household and living in a single earner household. As you can see with this graph, the highest chance of being in poverty is actually having a single earner household. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, you know, if there's less people earning in your house, it's going to be harder to obtain money and actually get into the next class. Also, one thing that's interesting is the people who have the highest chance of actually getting into the upper class is the married men. I don't know why. I'm not about to get into why, but if you're married, chances are you're going to be rich. So the next one, next factor we're looking at is college graduates. Now, obviously, this is something that you can change in your life. So just take note of these things. It doesn't mean that you have to go to college to be rich, but just make sure you're aware of the statistics that are against you, and maybe you could adjust something in your life to make it a little bit easier. So without further ado, as you can see, people who have attained a bachelor's degree or higher have the highest chance of being upper income, and the people who have less than a high school graduate degree have the lowest chance of being upper income. And as you can see, it literally scales all the way up with your education. Now, I honestly don't think that it only comes with college. I think it's education in general, and it shows how important this actually is to building wealth. If you educate yourself, chances are you'll have a higher chance of being wealthy, and if you stay complacent and you don't try to educate yourself with the times, it's going to be a lot harder to obtain that next level. Next factor we have is age. This is another thing that you can't control. A lot of times you're just going to have to wait for it. I think this is more on the side of saying that don't really feel bad if you're kind of behind somebody who's a lot older than you. Chances are if they have a lot more time under their belt, they'll have a lot more time to accumulate wealth, and it'll make it easier for them to be in a higher income bracket than you. So without further ado, it seems like people hit their financial stride at the ages between 45 and 64, with 27% of people being upper income. And then the lowest chances of you being upper income is actually being at a younger age right now, and actually at older age too, which is 65 plus and 18 to 29, which would put you at a 17% chance or a 16% chance of being upper income. And honestly, one of the biggest reasons that I see the drop off in upper class when you reach 65 plus is because this is when a lot of people hit retirement age. They're losing their actual work income and have to rely on the things that they did in the past to survive, and a lot of times that'll make their income diminish and put them in a lower class. But I wouldn't worry about that as well. If you make intelligent investments, if you have passive income coming in, you're investing in dividends, you have maybe some assets such as houses and real estate and everything like that, you should be fine once you hit retirement age, as long as you do the right things. So I wouldn't even worry about that one. But I will say this, being younger has a huge impact on where you are in your class. So take it how you want it. Now, the last chart that I'm talking about, which has nothing you can do that you can control, but I just want y'all to keep this in note. It's based off your ethnicity and it's based off your gender. So as this graph shows, it says that Asian Americans have the highest chance of being upper income, with 31% of them being there. The lowest chance of being upper income is Black people, which is at 41% chance of being lower income. And as you can see, it might say that some people have advantages, some people have disadvantages, but as I said previously in this video, you have to focus on what you can control. Things like going to college that'll raise your statistics of being a little bit wealthier will actually put you in a better position, because at the end of the day, you cannot change your race and you cannot change your gender. So you just have to take it how it is and do with what you have. But that's it for the video. I hope y'all found this information helpful. But just remember, everybody, it's not about where you are, it's about where you're gonna go. So focus on the things that you can control, and hopefully you'll reach your goals soon enough. But if you like my content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit that like button right down there. Just press right here, smash the like button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. You want to be notified every time I post a video. I appreciate y'all for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.